What's up, everyone? I'm Ashley Smashley. In this video, we're going to talk about dealing with family during your awakening. If you are new here, smash that like button, subscribe, and leave me a comment below. On this channel, we talk all things spiritual awakening, the light and the dark, so we can become aware and integrate, because that's necessary to become the version of you that can live out your infinite potential. Now, what is triggering me to make this video is my family. I've always been like the black sheep of the family, the one that always addressed issues within our family system, and everyone else just ignores them and sweeps them under the rug, and everyone has really poor communication skills. So like, I always am the problem, right? The drama starter, because I feel like we should talk about some things, or I'm not just gonna sit there and not acknowledge certain things, especially like when my aunt was still alive. That's a whole nother situation. But yesterday was my birthday, and my family did nothing to plan anything for my birthday. And my uncle's birthday is August 9th. So he was having his birthday party at his house, which my sister, my older sister, she messaged me and she said, "Oh, we're having birthday celebrations at Uncle John's on your birthday. Do you want to come?" And I'm like, is this my party, my birthday party? Or do I want to come to my own party? Like, what's going on here? And that's the only message I got about this, right? But every year that I'm here, because the last couple of years I've been in Florida for the summer, but every year I'm here, my two sisters, their birthday is right by each other in July. So we have one party for them, and then we have a party for me, where all of us get together, and we usually have food and cake and ice cream or whatever, right? And I know my siblings are all like struggling financially right now. So when it was time for my sister's birthday, I reached out, I started a group chat. I said, "What are we doing for your birthdays?" They're all like, "We can't afford to pay for food, so we'll all just eat before we come," yada, yada, yada. I said, "Don't worry about that, okay? I'll pay for everything. And you guys just show up to my apartment. We're all available this day, right? Let's plan it. I'll cook, I'll shop, I'll cook, I'll do it all." And my brother's a vegan, my sister's a vegetarian, my other sister is gluten-free and mostly organic. And then me, I'm like in a different realm with that. Like, I don't want anything owned by a megacorp. So I don't expect anyone to ever accommodate my diet. End of story, right? But it's not. Anyway, I went above and beyond for their birthday and make sure everyone was accommodated. I spent like at least $150 on their party, right? Which isn't a lot of money. It's whatever. Like, I wanted to make sure all of us were together, and I didn't want anybody worrying about money or food or whatever. We had 2 different cakes and 3 different kinds of ice cream, and I had everything, this is vegan, this is vegetarian, everything was gluten-free, and, I made sure there was no cross-contamination, so the vegan and vegetarian food didn't have any cross-contamination with meat or anything like that, right? Make sure everyone was accommodated. And we had a nice little lovely time as a family, right? And so come my birthday, nobody planned anything. Nobody said, "Hey, when are we all available?" They just picked a day. My brother wasn't there. My sister had to work. I had a comedy show I was going to. And it was like, nobody bought me a cake even. And I know they're struggling financially. I don't expect some big shebang, but putting in any amount of effort for us to get together at least. And I know they could have all, at the bare minimum, chipped in $10 to at least buy a cake and ice cream for me. But no, I bought my own cake and sang happy birthday to myself because none of them cared to plan anything for me. And I was wondering, like, are they gonna try? Does anyone care? Like, that to get together for my birthday, especially since I'm, like, about to leave Michigan again. So, what? Nope, nothing. And so, anyway, I spent a majority of my birthday crying. And I got lost in the illusion, right? This is coming up. It's a physical manifestation in my current reality from repressed emotions from my childhood. When I felt this all the time in my childhood. That my family doesn't love me, my family doesn't care about me, right? So that's why it's here. It's helping me process and release. So I understand from the higher perspective why this is showing up now in my reality, and I want to cry and process all this energy out of my body. It's literally like in my heart. So it's good that this is happening. It's good that this is coming up and out, but also I'm not going to just sweep it under the rug and not communicate with them that my feelings were hurt. So I did it in an assertive way. I was not aggressive. I said, look, I am not going to pretend like I'm not upset about this. So anyway, if you are going through family issues or whatever, like a lot of the spiritual folk are the black sheep because you're the generational curse breaker, so you won't just sweep things under the rug. And learning how to communicate effectively with your family. But the problem is, even people with poor communication skills, they think all communication is aggressive. Like if you're trying to, engage in any type of conversation about the family dynamic or any type of stuff like that, they will think you're attacking them. Time out. All right, where was I? I just stopped at my brother's house and unloaded all my equipment into his garage because I'm cleaning up my car, and he came outside and I was telling him about the birthday incident, just started crying. So anyway, yes, don't be afraid to be the one that communicates about the issues within your family system. Okay, just because they don't want to deal with it, that doesn't mean you have to sweep everything under the rug and go along. But like when you're communicating with people that they don't care to resolve issues properly within the family system, it's like, I don't know, it just falls on deaf ears. It's like, what's the fucking point sometimes? What is the point of even bringing this up? Because nobody wants to do anything to fix it properly. They think ignoring it is fixing it. So, whatever issues you may be facing within your family system, whether you have a narcissistic dynamic, my aunt was a narcissist and she passed away a couple years ago, but I was the only one who stood up to her narcissistic abuse and called her out for it. So I was always the problem. And one thing that baffles me about my siblings, like I love them all like individually, but like this family dynamic that we have is so toxic. And the reason why I don't feel supported or cared for by them, like this YouTube channel, I've had it for over 5 years. They have not left not one single comment on any of my videos. They've not shared not one of my videos. And if one of my siblings was making YouTube videos, I would literally like, share, and comment on every single video. I would have a device playing at my house, hooked up to the Wi-Fi with their content streaming 24/7 so that they could get their watch hours. But none of them care. And when it came to the narcissistic abuse in my family, I was the target by my aunt, right? My whole life. And I could go back and I told my family, like, the stuff she used to do to me when I was a kid. And, like, it was physical abuse. When I would get in the car, when she would come pick me up when I was a kid and I would spend the night at her house. And I was so torn because she would spend money on me and we would go and do all these cool things. But she was using me as her emotional punching bag the whole time and tearing me down. When I get in the car, she would tell me that I stink because my parents smoked in our house. She'd, oh, you stink. Okay, who says that to a child, first of all? And then she would tell me I have wild woman hair, and she would brush my hair. But when she would brush my hair, she would be yanking my head all over the place. It hurt so bad. And now that I'm an adult, I realize she was intentionally trying to hurt me physically. There's no way in hell anybody would brush a child's hair like that unless they were trying to hurt them. So, telling these things to my family, there's so much more, right? Telling these things to my siblings, and they just they still stood by her side, I guess, or took her side in this when I would be the one to call her out for her abuse. They would act like I was blowing it out of proportion. But if any one of them told me that story about what she did to them, I would have taken their side. I would have had their back in all of those situations. So this is the black sheep. The black sheep of the family, the scapegoat of the family, is the generational curse breaker. You are the one in your lineage that your ancestors, we all got together in your family lineage, right, and said, who's the strongest? Who can stand up to this? Who can integrate this? Who can end these generational curses? That's you. If you're resonating with this, that's you. All right? So don't bow down to the toxic family system, okay? You can stand up and speak your truth in an assertive way. Don't get aggressive, okay? You can put people in their place assertively. This takes learning communication skills, okay? This is something most people don't know. I didn't know either until 2017. I didn't even know learning communication skills was a thing. Okay? So if you don't know how to communicate effectively as an adult, it is your responsibility to learn. Most people aren't taught this as children. But that doesn't give you an excuse as a grown adult to not invest the time into learning how to communicate effectively, whether that be with other adults or children, because that's different. So, anyway, I just want to support you. I just want to be the one to come on here and let you know that if you are the only one standing up to abuse or standing up to a toxic family situation, you have my support. Okay, leave me a comment below. You can send me an email, ashleysmashley444@gmail.com, if you want to just rant to somebody who understands, or you want some feedback, I don't know, whatever. If you feel the need to reach out, email me. I love when my viewers email me. So please feel free to reach out. Just know that they don't understand because you're the awakened one, right? They're not. They're still asleep. Which Like, while you're trapped in the illusion, like I am sometimes, like right now, like you can see this is going on from a higher perspective, and still get lost in the illusion. It's okay. All right? You will step back into your power in a higher state of consciousness once the energy gets cleared. That's why we slip back into the human perspective and slip back into the delusion of the illusion. Is because the energy needs to get cleared. So you get into the state where you're feeling and your nervous system is triggered. And you're feeling the feelings, right? And then you sit and clear the energy. And you pull your consciousness back out of your body and you're like, okay, I see from a higher perspective why this is going on. My human's having this huge emotional reaction right now. This is sitting in there, and just allow it to exist. I see you. You are safe. You are allowed to be mad. You're allowed to feel upset. You're allowed to feel disappointed. You're allowed to feel unloved in my body. It doesn't take long, okay? When these energies are coming up, if you just like really sit with it, it doesn't take very long for it to just come up and out of your body. But you can't reach for a distraction tool. You pick up your phone, or you hit your vape, or you go eat. That's one thing I do. I'll be sitting there doing it, and I'll just get up and unconsciously walk into the kitchen and start eating. Pay attention to that. Okay? But I love you, and I support you, and no matter what you're going through in your family system, you are here. You are the one that your lineage has been waiting for. If you like this video, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you in my next video.